Thank you so much for tuning in to Schoolin the SiSTEM podcast. Today I have the best girl, Skye, owner of Sawdust and Glitter. She is amazing, Houston-based. Skye, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Clearly not so good. Can't even say you're. But
It's all good.
I'm good. I'm good. Just thankful that things are slowly changing in terms of the pandemic. We're able to go out more and do all these different things. So I'm feeling good about that. Still loving the working from home. That's never going to get old for me. But
yes.
um, so just to get started, tell me a little bit about Sawdust and Glitter and kind of how did you get started with that? Because I'm not going to lie to you, it's not every day that we see a female in this field, and in particular, a Black female. So I kind of wanted to know, how did you get started? Tell us.
Okay, so in 2015, I started Sawdust and Glitter as more of a how-to blog. I got like 3 hits, no one's subscribing to my blog. They weren't reading it, looking at the statistics and like analytics, like, when you send out your emails, and I started signing my friends up. They also weren't reading my how-to blog. So I was like, okay, this is not working. I'm not a blogger. I'm going to quit. So I've always had like the business cards and everything. I just kind of like put it on the back burner and then let my 9-to-5 career take off. And then I bought a house 2 years ago.
Congrats.
Well, thank you. I wanted to fix up a couple items around my house. And, Pinterest is the GOAT. So, on there, you can pretty much figure out how to do anything, like free plans, just ideas. So, get the wheels turning. And then there's this thing called the pandemic that hit. And
oh gosh,
really got laid off from my job. And I had nothing else to do but, fix up some stuff around my house because I was traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Job. So I let a lot of things kind of like, get projects get pushed to the side. And so one of the things I wanted to build was a hammock. So I built a hammock because I had all these books I was going to finally read during the pandemic, stay-at-home orders. And then literally the next week, I think I got like 3 hammock orders and then like a desk order. And then it kind of like took off from there. So I read 0 of those books.
Because you were too busy.
Yes, this was way too busy. But it was definitely a blessing in disguise because I had literally nothing better to do during stay-at-home orders. So that's kind of really how it jump-started, was a pandemic.
That is awesome. Like who would have thought that? Because you're thinking, okay, I'm just going to do a blog, and now it's something bigger than a blog. People are reaching out to you, asking you to build these things. And I kind of want to know, what's your favorite thing to build?
I really like the planner boxes, but that's probably like biased though, just because I'm a plant mom too.
Yeah.
A lot along the way, but making planner boxes for clients, they've told me like a few tricks and trades. It's now all my plants are alive.
So these are just plant boxes, so just to hold the plant?
Yes, so it's a raised planter box, so it's really good for people who have like apartments and like patios. They can put it on their back patio without having, because they don't have a yard.
Yeah. That is so innovative and creative. I would have never thought of that. Is that the most popular thing that people purchase from you or order from you? What is your most popular design or creation?
I sell a lot of Jenga sets and like string art.
Oh my gosh, that is cool. So you make the jumbo ones or the smaller ones?
The jumbo ones.
Awesome. And those are obviously can be like customized and colored.
Yes, colors and everything.
That is really, really cool. I'm gonna have to contact you for a Jenga. Maybe we can do like a STEM related one or something.
Okay.
Like math stuff, science stuff, kind of like trivia, but Jenga style. I think that would be really cool.
Right. Okay.
I'll definitely hit you up. So how did you get started in terms of what sparked your interest in construction management? Where did you go to school? So tell me a little bit about that. How did you get started? Because I didn't even know there was a such thing as construction management as a degree or a major in college. I truthfully, let's be real, I didn't know much about college. All I know is that I was just gonna go and because my mom and dad said so and hope for the best. So
yeah,
I didn't know there was a variety of different types of majors. So how do you get started with that? And why construction management?
Okay. So in second grade, I really wanted to be an ice cream truck driver, but then my mom told me that was not a career. So I figured I needed to reevaluate what I wanted to do in my life in third grade. And I decided I wanted to be an architect in elementary school. So my mom used to like, get me the newspaper on Sundays, and I would like cut out all the floor plans, and I would build Sims. Wouldn't really play with like actual families, so just an entire neighborhood was houses, and I'd move on to another neighborhood. But so when I got to Prairie View A&M University, I started in architecture.
Okay.
Kind of around my sophomore year, I realized like some of my older friends were getting internships, and they were kind of telling me like the highs and lows of their internships and kind of things they've heard like being like in the career field. And when I found out that like when you're a kid or like a freshman in college, you think of architecture, you think of like the skyscrapers and like the stadiums and like the items that everyone talks about, the landmarks, things like that. And then when I found out that when I graduated from college, and not only graduated, but also got licensed as an architect, I'd probably be designing like bathrooms and a thing and just things that nobody ever wants to do. That's type of project. I was like, maybe this is not what I want to do. It's going to take 20, 30 years for me to like actually be on that monumental project. And I don't have 20, 30 years to find something I'm passionate about. So I had a panic moment in college. I was like, what am I going to do? My department head convinced me to go ahead and double major since I was already halfway through at this point.
Oh, wow.
Construction science. So I started doing construction science. And then school, we didn't really like do too much hands-on building. Like everything was like a scaled down version of your project, which is held together with glue. It's not a structural item at all.
Yeah.
But, from there, I guess that's kind of like what sparked my interest in construction. And then all of my internships have been in construction related. So when I graduated, I went ahead and just did the construction route over architecture. And from there, just kind of like YouTube University for like woodwork stuff.
That is so, you know what? It's funny because when I was looking to do a career change, I was saying, okay, what do you do when you like math, but you don't want to be a teacher? And what kept popping up? Architecture.
Yeah.
And I was just like you, I was like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know you had to build bathrooms and all that stuff, but I knew I didn't want to do any buildings or anything. I just didn't want to build because I feel like, I mean, I might be good at math, but I didn't think I was creative like that. So I just want to commend you because you're probably obviously good at math, but you're also super creative. And the fact that a lot of these things, like you said, you've just YouTubed and put things together, like that takes a lot of skill. Like please don't take that for granted because I look at YouTube, even to like set up a desk. I'm on my stand-up desk, my standing desk right now. To set this up, it took me some time, okay? And it's not from scratch. So props to you, honestly. You're welcome. The next question I have is, in your field, would you say it's more male dominated or more female dominated or about equal? If it is male dominated, how do you navigate through your day-to-day things in a male dominated field?
It's definitely male dominated. Over the years, I've definitely seen more like women in leadership roles as well. So not even just like in the field, but also with construction, you have like the field side and you have the office side. So usually the women that you do see in the field are like on the project manager side. There have been a couple like superintendents I've seen as women, but like they're like really, really tough. Like I don't think I'd ever be like on that level, like yelling at men in the field. But right now I am an owner's rep for Planet Fitness. So I oversee the office side and the field side, but we contract out to a general contractor to do the actual building for us. So I don't have to actually be a superintendent, but more of like a liaison.
Okay.
I think having that role, since even though I don't own the franchise, I represent the franchise owners, and they trickle information down to me, and I'll send it back up their way, like making decisions.
Yeah.
I have that status and position, like no one talks back or has an attitude or it's not anything that's demeaning to their race or anything like that, because one false move and like they could literally like be out.
Exactly.
To the owner's rep like that, because you're talking to the owners like that at that point. So I have a lot of respect in that sense. Starting out, it was pretty tough, but like climbing the ladder and getting to where I'm at now, like I don't have any issues. I mean, maybe when I turn my back, they are probably upset about some decision I made, but to my face, at least, it's very professional. I don't have like any issues.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're not going to tell you straight up, but you just keep doing the dang thing, because the fact that you even that like you are a liaison, like you said, but you actually have a lot of authority in your position, I would think, right? And so I think that with that, you deserve that respect, regardless of anything. And so I kind of want to know, you said Planet Fitness, and Planet Fitness, yes, obviously, we all know it, gym.
Yes.
What is that like the process of going through or helping the owner through that process of owning a Planet Fitness? What's that like?
It's very hands-on. So I work from the very beginning of the process. So basically just taking a lot of burden off of the franchise owner so they can work on like the brand and hiring and just everything else that goes into a business besides the construction, opening gyms part. So once we have like a signed lease, I take that and then I work with our architects and our consultants and see it from that stage all the way to opening day. And then a little after opening day, just working out on a few like open items that have, still open, just like ordering supplies and things like that for the club. But it's my job is mainly to make, the franchise owners' jobs easier. So they're very involved in what we're doing. But as long as we're on budget and on schedule, they're happy. So it's just, something off their plate that they don't have to worry about managing at this moment.
That's awesome. What is the most difficult project or difficult situation you've ever been in your particular role, whether it's this one or a previous one, and how do you kind of handle that? Because I know it may not be always peaches and cream, it may not be always so easy. So
correct. Hardest project, I feel like all of them kind of have like the same issue at the end. So a lot of times there's unforeseen conditions, especially like when we have to like demo an old space. We have a certain budget that we're expecting, but then, something's built like in 1960, and then you discover that, I don't know, not actual skeletons, but there are some skeletons in the building that, cost incurred by, sometimes it's the landlord, sometimes it's the owner, just depends on the agreement that you have between the two parties. But my biggest headache is always the inspections at the end of a project with the city of Houston.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure my name's like plastered on the wall in there somewhere saying like, give this girl a hard time. But I fail a lot of inspections, but it's never because of like code issues. It's always like a very particular inspector that wants to see something that other inspectors have never asked for before. And it'll be like a sticker on the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could run to Home Depot and get this sticker right now and put it on the door. Please don't leave, just sign off on this paper. We have to open tomorrow, 5 a.m. They're like, call for after hours. And like $500 something to come back out the same day in like a couple more hours. I was just like,
oh my goodness.
So.
Oh my goodness. But those kind of situations, are those more so rare, or do they happen often, or?
Save Houston like every project. Of course. But Harris County, Montgomery County, Pearland County, it's a lot easier. As long as, fire, life, and safety is on point. They're like, okay, everyone who occupies this building will be safe, open for business.
That's perfect. So if you weren't working for Planet Fitness, where can we find you, or where would you be? Or is this like your dream job, your dream company?
If I wasn't here and it was a possibility that I could do right now, I'd be on HGTV. That would be a dream job. I would love to have some type of course, building or interior design, things like that. But, they're not going to put you in a show unless you have some type of like caveat or something like, you're fighting with a spouse or love listed or something. You have to have some backstory too. You can't just be out there and just be like, Joanna and them, just always design. There's no like, I don't know, storyline behind it or anything like that. So
you have I think you have a great story and a great storyline. I think that you would thrive on reality television, especially with Sawdust and Glitter, because like I said, you're the only person that I know, and I know a lot of people, okay, that specializes in this and does a great job with it and has something else on the side, Sawdust and Glitter, that they're thriving in. I would tune in, and I don't really tune into Chip and Joanna and them, but I would definitely tune in you, okay?
Well, when I'm on there, I'll let you know.
I'm gonna contact them. So HGTV, if y'all are watching,
Yeah.
guys, your girl. But so we're gonna kind of switch gears. But before we do, there is one question that I always ask, and that is, what kind of advice would you give to young women who are trying to pursue careers in construction or architecture or any type of construction management? What are some tips or advice you would give them?
I would definitely give them advice to, there's this book, and I can't remember the author's name right now, but it's called Lean In. It's a very popular book, so I know if you Google it, it'll probably be the first hit that comes up. But when I read that book about maybe like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, she was saying that women were all oftentimes timid to take that leap of faith into like a role or just a career field that you feel like you don't not necessarily fit in, but have like the knowledge for. And she said that men will always raise their hand or try to jump to that next career step or level or avenue down their career, like whether they have the skills or not. They're just like, I don't know if I can say balls to the wall, but they're, just always like, okay, I'll do it, I'll try, or like smoozing and at networking events. But women are always like, oh, well, when I gain that knowledge, I'll try and I'll apply for this position, or I want to start a family instead. Like if I take this position, like I won't be able to be, a good mom to my children, things like that. But I would definitely say like read that book. It definitely opened up my eyes to like a different aspect, because we often think about things from like our point of view, but then we also don't view it from the men's point of view, and we need to think more like men and kind of just go for it. So the worst that can happen would just be you're exactly where you're at right now still. So it can't get like any worse. You might as well just try to do it. But specifically for construction, I mean, we have to think like men, So I mean, if it's something you're passionate about, and especially with architecture and construction, women have a very good eye for detail. We'll miss over a lot of things on the job site that may come up later, especially like on the punch list, but like we'll catch it early on and be able to like, bring it up and remediate it from an early step. So
The part that stuck out to me mostly, you said a bunch of amazing things, but the main thing that stuck out to me is that women pay attention more to detail. Oh my goodness, this is so true. And this is primarily why I always tell people, I say, men cannot live without women. They cannot work without women. They need us. They literally need us. And so I think that, like you said, leaning into that based on the book and thinking that way will be super helpful for your success in that field. So, in really any field, honestly.
Correct.
So we're gonna switch gears now for sure to the next section of our show. It's called Taking You to School, and this is just where we kind of get to know you a little bit outside of just your work. So my first question is, it's a Saturday night, you're in Houston, and you're trying to go out or do something. Where are you going, or where can we find you?
Saturday.
Or it could be during the day. It doesn't have to be night.
Saturday night, I'm usually like eating dinner on my way home because I'm more of a daytime outgoing person. So while the sun's up, I like to be out, like, at a patio or like an art museum. When before the pandemic hit, there was a lot of like festivals and crawfish and margarita festivals, just different attractions and things to do, especially like all those like fun houses we have now, like the Color Factory and things like that. That was a lot of fun. Now it's kind of weird going to it because like can't touch anything and stay 6 feet away from each other, and our reservation line's this long because we have these 2 tables between this table and stuff. So I mean, that's what I like to do is like, go out and see attractions during the day. And then usually I'm like a grandmom home, like and in bed with like, I don't know, something I shouldn't be eating, but I don't know, like Taco Bell.
I mean, you got to realize all that work that you do during the week, you got to find a way to relax. So please continue to enjoy your Saturdays. What are some future ideas or plans that you have for Sawdust and Glitter?
One of my plans for, well, I guess I was trying to start last year, but I feel like everything goes back to the pandemic at this point, but I wanted to start a workshop called Girls with Tools. My I got the idea from my neighbor. She is 9 now, I believe. And I would let her come over a few times. I was working in the garage since she was also like, homeschooled at this point, virtually learning. And if I was working with tools that day, depending on what the tool was, I wouldn't let her work with me. I'll just tell her she can come back like the next day. But I would let her like help me like paint stuff and then hammer a little bit, like, very little. Just like kind of like teaching her a little bit about like angles and triangles. I'm not really sure like what age kids are supposed to learn that, but I don't think in 3rd grade or 4th grade. I think
they should know generally what a shape looks like, but
okay, I was talking about a whole bunch of angles and stuff, and she and not even retaining anything I was saying, but I was trying to explain that I need to cut this at 45 so that these two pieces like met up at this and made a 30-degree inside angle. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like way over her head, but she was enjoying it. She kept coming back anyway, so I guess it wasn't too boring. But
something right.
Yes. So from working with her, I was kind of thinking that I don't have a storefront at the moment, but I was thinking that if I hosted like a small workshop for maybe like 2 or 3 girls, and I was going to call it Girls with Tools. So it's still a plan that I have, but it's just kind of, weird during the times. But hopefully when people start getting vaccinated or taking the proper steps, protect themselves and their family, I'll be able to have a small gathering in my garage with teaching them,
Well, let me know if you ever have one for women with tools, because Lord knows I need to learn something. Something, anything. I think
that, like a sip and saw.
Exactly. Yes, I love that. No, I really love that. I may not be able to sit because I need to focus. I don't lose a finger.
Yeah,
but
a little dangerous.
I'm definitely there. That is such a great idea, and I think that again, that will bring awareness to this particular field. And it seems like the work you do is really, really fun. Like I see your Instagram, and if y'all are looking for a great time and you want to see a bunch of cool things that Skye makes, please follow her on Instagram, because I used to follow your little time lapses when you would build, like when you first built the hammock. I was like, this is so cool. And I know for a fact that it looks easy, but I know this took a couple days or a couple weeks.
Definitely.
It was amazing to see. And I think that, again, providing girls with the ability and the knowledge to know like this is here and this is fun and you can still be creative in this particular field. So I will be tuning in, and I will help you share the word when you do decide to do the workshop. Definitely. Okay. Definitely. And then what are you currently reading these days or listening to?
So I am in a new book club. I was in another book club, but people just stopped responding in the middle of a book. So we actually never met up to discuss the book that I also did not read. But now I am back on it. Right now we're reading, I'm on chapter 7, and it's supposed to be meet next week. The name of the book. I don't even remember. I need to finish the book though. I can pull it up, but
at least you're reading.
Barely, but I need to get back on. I used to read 2 books a month, and I traveled a lot for work.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier to read on the plane and get a few chapters done all at once. But I am reading Silver Sparrow.
What's that about? Let me take that down.
That is about, so there's the girl and her mom, and she finds out that she has a sister, and then she finds out that her dad is actually married to her sister's mom.
What? Wait.
She's a half sister. Sorry, let me say that part first. She's a half sister. So
okay.
I was confused growing up why her dad was kind of like sometimes there and sometimes wasn't. And it's because her mom is the mistress or the other woman.
Wow.
So he comes and visits, holidays and stuff briefly, and then goes back to like, I guess his actual family that he's married into. But it's her story about how I think they end up at the same school. So, that's what the summary said. Obviously, I'm chapter 7. I haven't made that far yet. But it's about how the girls, because only the mistress's mom or daughter knows about the other daughter. The other daughter has no idea that there's another, she's a half sibling out there. So it's about them ending up at the same school later in life. And something about how they meet. And I'm not sure if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, or if they become friends or enemies or anything like that, but just their journey.
I think I've heard of this book, but I think I heard of it as a TV show. Was it a TV show on Netflix?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Is it like a African American book?
Yes, it is.
Okay, there's a show on Netflix. I have no idea the name of it, but I'll try and find it. And I'll let you know later.
Okay.
It literally follows that timeline, but it's South African based. And so the girl like grew up without her sister, and then she finds out her sister goes to the same school as her.
Oh, it's a different book. I read that one too.
You read it?
I don't remember the name of it though.
Okay. It sounds the same.
Yes. So when I joined this book club, this is my first book reading with them, and I was like, did I read this already? It's like the cover looks different. I don't maybe they just changed it, like the artwork on it, but then like I realized it was a different author. But no, there is a very similar book where the girls meet at college.
Yeah.
They meet at college and reunite, but they both knew that they had a sibling, I believe.
Yes.
And then they moved to like Atlanta or something.
I have no idea. I didn't finish the show, but I do know that it was very similar to the way you described it.
Yes. These books are pretty much the same. Maybe the ending will be different.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I need to do more reading. So I've written Silver Sparrow down. I might get to it this year. I might not, but I have it down.
Awesome. Hopefully I finish this month.
I hope you do. I hope you do. And my next question is, if you could collaborate with anyone in whichever space, whether that's in construction, whether that's just design, whether it's HGTV, who would you collaborate with and why?
I would definitely collaborate with Rihanna. I mean, she's she sings, she dances, she has Fenty, like, I mean, she's a fashionista. I mean, like, she has so many different avenues that she goes down and she's killing all of them. So, I mean, I would definitely collaborate with her on the sense of like her business like aspect of it. Cause I mean, of course she has people working like, behind the scenes for her, and she gets to put her, her final stamp on and approve things like, yes, I like this product, or no, I don't. Like, I'm not putting my name behind this. So, I mean, she does have, like, her team working with her, but like knowing like what she wants to put out to the world and what she doesn't, because she said, we're not getting the music right now. Y'all about to get this and this Savage. This is what y'all getting right now. And that's all. So knowing what she wants to focus on and what's important to her and that can make her money in the long run, that would be, I couldn't put a price on that, getting that like mindset from her.
I love Rihanna too. So I definitely understand you. I was even thinking about, I guess Rihanna has been like out and about these days. And so she's been like sneaking up on people at like, whether that's at a restaurant or a store or on the sidewalk.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw one of them where she like came up to this girl and it was her birthday. And I was like, they are not acting crazy enough for me. I would literally
I don't know what I would do. I'd probably be in the shade room, but like, girl, meeting Rihanna, like not, the storyteller would have been so different. We're probably passed out or something.
Exactly. Or I would scream, like I would literally offer her some cake. I'd say, sit down, let's chat. How's it going? I don't know. I love Rihanna too. And I know that she's super friendly and she's super creative. Mm-hmm. Just to pick her brain a little bit would be cool. But last and final question, the hardest question of all. But before I ask it, I want to thank you for being on our show, Schoolin the SiSTEM podcast. You were great, and we hope to see you again soon. We're definitely going to do one of those things where it's like, okay, where are they now, type of thing. Okay. But I kind of wanted to know what Schoolin the SiSTEM meant to you.
Okay. So I think it's definitely important, especially for women in STEM, but just letting girls know from a young age that they can, climb any mountain they want to, and that nobody can tell them that they can't do anything, saying that, this is a man's world. Growing up, my mom always, anytime I had a crazy idea, I was like, I want to, try, I don't know, like basket weaving or anything. It didn't matter. It could be something really stupid. And my mom like, okay, like, let's get the kit. We're going to Home Depot. We're going to Hobby Lobby. We're doing this, but just instilling that in children from a young age that they can be and do anything that they want. I mean, college may not be for everyone. Maybe they need to do like a trade school, or maybe they're musically inclined, but just letting them know that you don't have to be an engineer or a doctor, to be successful. You can, be an artist, or I don't know, even teachers. I mean, they often get overlooked in their career field as well. So, I mean, just instilling that at a young age, because sometimes, once we get to, 18, 19, 20, and we're trying to figure out what we want to do, it's very like narrow-minded because you just see, you know, the major like engineering degrees and things like that, and not realizing there's other things out there for you and for those children at that moment.
Yeah, spot on, perfect gem, perfect way to end. I love that, and that's really what we try to do here at SiSTEM and at Schoolin the SiSTEM. We want to show kids, and not even kids, even adults that kind of want to, that are in their career, or are thinking about going back to school, or thinking about changing things up. You can do it at any time. You're never too old. You're never too young. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever that you set your sights on. And that's exactly what Schoolin the SiSTEM is all about. So with that, thank you so much for being on the show again. You're amazing. You continue to inspire all the young girls pursuing construction, management, anything related to that. And more power to you. Keep doing you. Best of luck to you with Sawdust and Glitter. I know you're gonna do amazing things, and I will definitely catch you on HGTV soon.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome, Skye. Have a great day.